Welcome to another edition of the Mile High Real Estate Podcast. And I have Jacqui Rose here with me today. This is going to be a great podcast today because we now are in 2024. So if you're just now listening to this, we're at an exciting 24. We're saying thrive to 25, all these different sayings, do more in 24. But what I'm more excited about is what we have the ability to do. So rates have begun to come down a little bit. We have, and so hopefully that trend continues. It's just kind of a new vibe that I'm starting to feel from people. There are people who are kind of waiting through 2023 to see what happens. I think we have this new normal. Some people were thinking, well, maybe our rates and stuff will go back down into the 2s and 3s. My friends, that was a clearance sale. I don't think that's ever going to happen again. In the last 30 years that I've been working and doing stuff, it hasn't been there. And so I think people are kind of normalizing with where that's going to be. But still, people are moving. People are still buying houses. People are still, changing their lives, improving their lives, getting excited about where they're going and things that we're doing. And so, today we're gonna start out in 2024 and start talking about some of the things that are available to you, some of the things that can make your world much better. And homeownership is one of those things. And so if you're a person who hasn't experienced homeownership before, I encourage you, this is something you should probably do in 2024. Let's figure out a plan. Let's figure out how to make it happen. If you have, and you're looking to either upsize or downsize or move to a different location, or, Colorado has so many different opportunities if you're doing this here in Colorado. And so Jacqui is part of the Fox team. And so one of the things that she does is she spends a lot of time making sure that her clients and the people that she works with are a right fit. They're the people that she knows that she can help. She knows that she can take time with. She knows that she can make sure that they're going to get every opportunity to get exactly what they want. And if she can't do that, she has no problem referring it out to somebody else. And so Jacqui, thank you for being on today. I'm so excited that you're here. So excited. I should tell you, this is her first podcast that she's done, which is so exciting because this is a new realm. And it's something that if you guys are watching this and you're saying, hey, if Jacqui can do it, I can do it too. Or you're one of her clients and maybe she'll want to do a podcast with you at some point. So this is like so cool that she's able to do that. So thank you for being on. First up, before you get going, just tell us how to get a hold of you. How to, that somebody, if they wanted to call you, they could do that.
Brian, thank you so much for inviting me. I am a little nervous, but also excited to do my first podcast. So you can reach me at 720-393-9290 or at my email, which is a unique spelling. It's Jacqui, Jacqui at JACQUI-rose.com.
That is so cool. So is this unique spelling is something your parents just came up with, or is it from like a different country? I love it. I've never seen it before, but it's really cool.
Well, my parents did tell me this is how we spell our name.
Okay.
I don't know that it's unique. It's definitely different, but I am an Irish Catholic from the south side of Chicago, and they were very proud of the Kennedys. So I'm named after Jackie Kennedy.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then I think that they just preserved that sort of French spelling. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, I took French in high school and in college, and I can just say bonjour pretty much. So, that is so cool, though, that, they did that, and you're from the south side of Chicago. So tell us a little bit about your background. I know that's where you grew up and, kind of got your character and your values and your work ethic all from there. But what's life been like, since then, and how did you get to do what you're doing now?
Well, thank you for asking. Yeah, I did grow up on the south side of Chicago and Grand Beach, Michigan. I came out here 20 years ago. I met my boyfriend, who's now my husband and love of my life, best friend. He brought me out here, and I was a ski instructor actually at Golden Peak in Vail for 3 to 6 year olds. When we were out here, I just fell in love. I'd never been to Colorado before either. I loved that we could do so many sports in the wintertime. I loved the sunshine. I really loved the people. It's so different coming from a big city to come to Colorado, especially 20 years ago. And we just knew that we wanted to move here. And it's funny, after we did move here, I think it's sort of a normal story for the people who discover Colorado. My brother followed, then my youngest brother followed, and then that brought our parents out here. And a fun fact that my parents' townhouse was actually the first transaction that I ever had. So,
all right, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm going to interrupt. I want you to finish your story, but something just came to my mind because I was a school teacher for a long time, for 25 years, and I did from elementary through college. But one of the things that you said you were a ski instructor for 3 to 6 year olds. So there is no fear with the 3 to 6 years. They do everything. What would it be like if we could sell houses, if we could do our business with 3 to 6 years olds with their fear level where they're not afraid of anything and go to be able to do stuff? How was that? Was that super fun and just exciting to be able to hang out with those kids and stuff, to be able to do that?
It's funny that you say that about the school. So it really was the best job that I've ever had in my whole entire life. I loved it. Not only were they not afraid, but they listened 100% to what you're saying, to like the coaching, and they were really excited. And they also, kids got it faster, I think, because they're not in their heads. They just trusted and went out there. It was so exciting. And to be completely honest, though, some would cry. And I also worked in schools, and I loved that I could just radio and say, like, this kid's super uncomfortable and it's not working for them. Can they come inside and watch a movie with everybody? So, yeah. And then I also when I first came out here, I was a licensed clinical social worker. So I worked in juvenile detention. I worked in adult psychiatric care. I worked at Mount St. Vincent Home, which is here in the Highlands, and that's a place for kids that their parents' rights had been terminated. And then my last mental health work was in middle school, and I ended up transitioning to real estate. I fundamentally love helping people. I love coaching. And I love advocating, but there came a point in my life where it just became a little too heavy. And so I get to still incorporate those things in real estate. And that's really what I love to do. So it's been a really good fit to transition from the social work into this position.
Oh my gosh. Yes. That sounds so exciting and so rewarding too, to be able to help folks out. And then you still continue to get to do that today.
Yes.
And utilize some of those skills, the things that, from having somebody early to, later, and doing the social work stuff. I ran some homeless services organization for a while. And I think, the empathy and the ability for patience and that kind of stuff are, some major assets when it comes to, now working with folks that are looking, sometimes scared because it's the biggest purchase of their entire life or the biggest thing, something they don't do often, and so you're able to take that with you. What do you think is your favorite part about being an agent? What is it that just makes you excited when you get to do it? I mean, I know you did your parents at the beginning, and that had to be exciting because you got to help them. But through the years, since you've been doing this a while now, what's that favorite part?
I do believe that for me, there is something like fundamentally that I just need my work to be helping people. I know that purchasing a house is, like you said, it can be a complicated process. People don't do it all the time. It can be emotional. It is so exciting, though, to get from the beginning to the end. And I am very client driven. I love really connecting with people. And then the fun thing too about being a realtor in Denver, Colorado is more than 50% of people are not even from here. So you get to really help them you get to meet people from all over who have come here from different places, or whether it's to come to meet their grandkids, or they came here for work, or they came here for the outdoors. Everybody has a different story. And so like that is really exciting. And I love that. And then I also get to help them find where they want to be, and just navigate a sometimes difficult and emotional process. But in the end, it's always just exciting. So.
Yeah, it's so funny you say that, because what I find in Colorado is that a lot of people, like when they say, "Are you a native?" That's like the question that we ask, and like I've never been in any other state where people are like, "Hey, how are you doing today? Are you from here? Are you a native?"
Unique and it's interesting, but it also like I love that part of it, because they're all coming here to try something new and different. And then there is a lot of emotion with that. And I just feel like my background too can help realize what's the big picture here and how do we work together to get where you want to be.
Yeah. And I think what makes that like you're saying, what makes it so unique is so many people are not from here. So sometimes I'm in other places and visiting and talking to other people, and they have their cliques or their groups. That is because it's generations of the same people in the group that they've been with, and it's really hard to break in. Where like here, I find even whatever the neighborhood is, neighbors are wanting to go out and meet that next person who's part of that neighborhood. It's not like families and families of generations have been in the same neighborhood. And they want to find out and they want to experience, and they go out to different places and vacation together and all those wonderful things. Go ahead.
Brian, I think that is so true. And for a lot of the parents who have moved here, who followed their children, and they're nervous because they're leaving their communities that they've grown up in, or where they've raised their children. I do feel confident telling them like a lot of people are not from here. So they're just really friendly, and it's easier to build a community. Even for other people who are moving here with their kids and getting into school, I'm like, there's going to be other classmates that just came in the last year or two. And being a new kid is not as scary because nobody has grown up with everybody from, 2 generations past, exactly like you say. And like for me too, I grew up on the south side of Chicago. My great grandparents came from towns in Ireland and all came to Chicago together and then built this like little neighborhood. So they were even really entrenched back in Ireland, so, and we lived in a neighborhood. My dad's one of 8 kids. We lived in a neighborhood that all 7 of my dad's brothers and sisters, we were in a 4-block radius. So I got to go to school with all my cousins and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's crazy. But I also feel like I was not intimidated to do real estate here for those reasons, because when I think about like the neighborhood I grew up in, there was like the 1 or 2 people that everybody used. And so coming here, it was more exciting to be able to break into this industry and then work with people who end up referring me to their family and their friends.
Oh, that's really cool. So I can tell with you, relationship is super important, whether Absolutely. It's close family relationships, whether it's, community relationships, or whether it's just relationships, in general, somebody you just met. What do you think, I guess with that, can somebody expect from you? So I come to Jacqui and I say, Jacqui, I'm from wherever. I'm really looking for a house and I'm looking for a community. What are some of the things they can expect to find when they start working with you?
I would say that I think that it does come across like I really do deeply care. Mm-hmm. I do want to find out more about what is motivating you and then where we can be and explore. I have been here for 20 years. I love that every neighborhood is different, but I do feel like it's all great. So like like if somebody's more into the outdoors, maybe we would try to get closer to bike paths or access to I-70. If people are looking to be closer to their children, we'll look in neighborhoods like that. But I do feel like I am very specific about trying to figure out what is motivating your move and then how we can work together to be where you want to be. But I would say too, it does not really matter. Like when we first moved here, we were in Lakewood, then we rented in Golden, then we went to Roxborough. Now we're near Littleton, and every single place was great and unique in its own way.
Oh, that's cool. Do you have a story of like a favorite client that you were able to help and what you were able to do with them? So please share that with us, because I think those are fun, because that kind of reveals how you work with people and what makes you so special.
Okay. I think that I mean, I know hands down last year, my favorite client, she was a single mom who came from Texas. She has a 12-year-old. She was homeless actually while she was growing up in high school. And she worked so hard. She'd never thought that she would be able to buy a home. She was just talking to one of my previous clients. She's the teacher of her daughter. She was talking to one of my previous clients about the apartments that they were living in. And then my client, Allie, referred me to her, just said, like, why don't you just talk to Jacqui about if you could make something work? And I might cry about it because
that's so cool.
I could not believe that we found a great place that was under 300,000 for her and her daughter, that was safe. It was 2 bedrooms, and I just knew it was it's going to change their life. Like, she's building equity, and they have their own rooms, they have their own spaces. They're over in the Belmar area, and it really it's so great.
Yeah, it's something about being able to help somebody through home ownership, to be able to, especially when they don't realize, like, for a lot of us that, that maybe have grown up in households that was just what people did, and then you find somebody who didn't have that experience, and didn't even, at one point, didn't even experience a home. And then to be able to have it, you call your own, where you can hammer your own nails in there, and you can, and just be able to walk through that process if people are willing. And, I just want to reiterate to people, if you're willing to try, we're willing to help you, and so a person like Jacqui is going to sit down and I can imagine some of the hurdles that you had to go through. It wasn't like you probably started out and, hey, the first house you looked at is the one she wanted, and everything she needed to do qualify was so easy, because sometimes it's not. But at the end, and sometimes the process is difficult, but at the end, if you stick with it and you utilize it, I would say also don't try to do this on your own. This is why Jacqui's in business, right? Somebody referred her to Jacqui and said, follow her, and she did. And then all of a sudden, the gear started turning and the momentum started working. And so you were able to do that. So that's phenomenal that you were able to do that. So would you love to do those over and over, like 10 times in a year, 20 times in a year for somebody?
I do, but like, all of my clients are unique and different too. So yeah, I love that. I really do feel like I love to celebrate their successes. So that was just one that was really special to me, because I feel that we really did change the trajectory. We found a safe place, and then she's not subject to the changes in rent. But then, like, I also had another client last year. Their son had been a client of mine, and then his wife was pregnant with twins, and his parents moved here from Georgia to help out with the twins. And so that was so great too, getting them into a community where they felt comfortable, but also could be here to help out their parents. So that was a pretty exciting one as well.
That's so cool. And I'm just thinking about that, because you're talking about community and coming from a place. Are there certain communities that you work with that you just know the community so well, so you're able to match people with them? Or is it just, you just kind of try to find the right price and right house, where there's sometimes, I know you've been here for 20 years now, so you talked about being all over. That's probably the uniqueness about you, being able to find that right fit in communities when people are asking you.
Yeah, no, I do feel like the majority of my clients drive and their goals drive where we do end up. I do live in the South Denver metro area, so I feel like in general, I'm super familiar with around here. But when I first started 8 years ago, I had like a lot of like first time home buyers who were trying to get into Cap Hill and the Highlands. And now they're going to Sloan's and Tennyson. But then through the years, their goals changed. Now they're in Highlands Ranch or Castle Rock. So I serve as far north as Erie. I'll go to Colorado Springs. I did just have another client refer me on Monday. He had a work teammate that is looking for an Airbnb and land, maybe a house. His budget was up to $1 million, but he was looking up in evergreen, conifer, Bailey, pine, and it was really hard for me to say in 2024, like I might not be the best fit, and it just was because I am not familiar with all of the Airbnb restrictions in those counties. And then I'm also not certain about building and what that means for like getting into tap fees and all of that stuff. So I knew that was just, I feel like I was capable and could figure it out. But most of my clients come from referrals. And so I want them to have the best experience that they can get. And then, and so I did refer him out to somebody who lives up there, who's been practicing real estate for their 30 years, who I know knows all of these kind of details. And it really did feel good and a little bad.
Yeah, no, that it makes sense. You got to find the right fit for the client, and if you're doing what's right for the client, others come, and the referral will be reciprocal. It'll come back, to you. I say press down, shaken together. That happens, and that's just the law of reciprocity, right? And so,
exactly.
You can't know everything about every community in the state, right?
Right.
You think about Bailey and Conifer. I mean, Bailey and Conifer are mountain towns, but they're way different than Evergreen. They're on different sides of, part of a mountain, on the other sides of the 70. And so, at different communities and different people. And so finding somebody like that is so cool that you were able to do that.
Yeah. And his goal was really like the Airbnb side. And so like, I feel very familiar with that down here and how the counties operate. But up there, I was like, this is going to take a lot of digging. And there's just somebody that could take care of it immediately. So.
Well, and what to your point there, what's so different about the Airbnb world is our counties and our communities and our cities and municipalities are changing the rules as we go.
That's true.
And so if you're not around, the rule could be when you start, the process of buying a house there, that it could change on you. And so if you don't know the trends in that community, it could end up being really, really hard, because I don't think our world really knows exactly what to do as tax revenue is, the cities are trying to find, hey, there's an opportunity for us to get more taxes, so we need to try to regulate it, right? And every community is approaching it differently. So I think that's really good.
Changing through times, like what?
Yeah. Wow. So speaking of that, and just kind of what do you think's happening this next year? It means 2024 now. We're going to move in. Before we know it'll be 2025, right? What are some of the trends that you're seeing, or some of the things that you're seeing may happen this year, may not happen? Just from your perspective, not only been doing this for 8 years, living in the community for 20 years, kind of seeing how this process works. What do you think's going to happen?
Brian, I'm excited.
Oh, good.
I feel like at the end of 2022, I had 2 listings that were just casualties of those first interest rate hikes. And that was difficult for everybody involved. And then 2023, when we transitioned, it was really that wait and see year. Like you were saying at the beginning, we just didn't really know. And I am lucky. I did, even in high school and through college, I worked at the Chicago Board of Trade in the 10-year bond pit as a clerk. And so when everybody was talking about like the interest rates coming down last year, I just, it's not my area of expertise, but from my background, I just did not think that was going to be possible. So I felt very uncomfortable last year trying to advise. I just wanted people to know that to be secure in the decisions that they were making. Last week, I had a client who looked at a townhouse. It's listed at $578. It was a fixer-upper. We were very excited. We were aggressive. We made an offer for $630 as is with with an escalation or appraisal gap with no limit on it. And I was completely shocked that there was 11 offers and it's under contract at $650. So we're in first position backup. But that being said, I feel like that demand is there. It's been pent up. It's 2024. I feel like there's a lot more positivity. I don't think that I think people have been dreaming or waiting and that they're ready to move on with life. So, yeah.
I kind of see some of those same trends where, hey, we can't really move. We want to move. We have our family, it's growing, that might be one of the issues. And so we've been waiting to see what's going to happen. And I think, it's kind of settled down enough for people going, okay, this is the time to really start moving. And then there's just a lot of people, and we continue to be one of those states where people keep moving here, and people keep coming in. So, it's a good place to live. I mean, we need some better infrastructure, I think, eventually, but they're trying. I don't know if we can catch up with the demand of people.
I know. And it's so great. I feel like it was good to have that pause too for a minute, because I think myself and my team, we are just rested and are ready to go. So, yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Well, we're almost at 30 minutes, so we've been talking for a long time, and I thank you for your time here. Maybe you can I want you to tell everybody how to get a hold of you one more time, and then any other closing thoughts that you may have for the folks that are listening and watching.
Well, thank you once again for inviting me. You can reach me at my cell phone, 720-393-9290, or my email, Jacqui@jacqui-rose.com. Don't forget the Q. And I am with the Angela Fox team at Madison & Company.
Gotcha. Any final thoughts that you want people to know about you or your team or what you guys have going?
I just, I know that joining the Fox team, we really do pride ourselves on client experience and serving you with professionalism, but that you drive what happens. So
absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, and I hope those who are watching this can see what I'm seeing, that you are going to have a gem if you call on Jacqui. And I hope that you do. And I hope that you spend that time, just talking and telling her exactly what it is that you want. She's going to be able to see, for a lot of people, they say, this is what I want, and that's not. And then she sees, oh, this is what you really want after having those conversations with you. So that'll be great. And so, like I say at the end of all of these, is you can do this. And so if you're a first-time person and you're going, I don't know if I can buy a house, you can tell from her story that she can help you, in that area. If you've been around a while and you're just looking and saying, I'm not sure about the market or the right neighborhood, Jacqui's the right person. So you can do this. You deserve this. Whatever it is that we do, and our country is just one of these amazing countries, and our state is one of these amazing states that allows you to be able to do what you might not be able to do across the world. And if you can dream it, you probably can achieve it. And the last thing is, let us help you. Whether it's me on the lending side or Jacqui on the finding side, to do this and to have these big transactions and understand. You could tell from our even conversation on Airbnbs, you can't know everything, and we spend all day long working on this and working to help you and helping you get to what you want to do and achieve your dreams. And so don't try to do it on your own. Let us help you. And so with doing that, we can be successful in helping you get and achieve those things. So thank you again for another great episode of the Mile High Real Estate Podcast. It's been phenomenal and fun talking with you, Jacqui. I hope we can do it again, maybe in later in 2024. If you have a client or somebody that we can bring on that you just did that's excited, and we can bring them on and talk to them as well, I think we'd love to do that if you're willing to do that. So thank you again for being there. Thank you guys for listening again, and we will look forward to talking to you soon. This is Brian Arnold, and if you are listening to this part, you've just watched one of our episodes of the Mile High Real Estate Spotlight, where we've just talked to one of the best of the best. And I want to thank whichever guest that was here. They are phenomenal. They are amazing. They are the top of the top, the best of the best that are in our industry that are here with us today. And so I encourage you to please call them, pick their brains. They work for you. They enjoy working for you. They are incredibly good at it. And so I want to make sure that you give them a call. So whoever you listen to, whichever one you saw that you were there, please do that. The other thing is everyone deserves a home. Everyone deserves a home. I say that at the end of my show. You deserve it. Let us help you do it. My goal is to make sure that we see homeownership. It just sickens me to see apartment complexes continue to go up, because I know those are people who haven't been able to make the call or figure out a plan. So let us help put that plan together for you. I have some websites that allow you to do that, and I'll put those in the bottom, but please do. I am a lender. I do work in the lending space. If you do not already have somebody who's pre-qualified you, I would love to be able to have that opportunity to earn your business and qualify you. My number is 720-682-2223. That's 720-682-2223. Give me a call anytime, and I would love to be able to help you with that. We also do living trust. And so when we think about an estate, to try to avoid probate and make sure that doesn't happen. So whether it's you, if you own a home, and you should have a living trust. And I will say that everyone not just deserves it, everyone needs a living trust if they own a home. And then finally, just wanted to thank you for watching these episodes. And so please tune into more. Would love for you to see and be able to shop around. So thank you for doing that. Again, I want to make sure that you know that you can do this. You deserve this. And let us help you make it happen. You guys have an awesome, wonderful, awestruck, incredible day today.